We are my lunch yet again. Can you guess? Can you guess what we're eating today? They're a lot thicker today. Ooh. So I think first we need to talk about, let me give you some context. Your attention is like a double-edged sword. Whatever you give your attention to, you tend to attract more of. And whatever you experience right now in this current moment is kind of a reflection of what you previously were paying your attention to, if that makes sense. So the only reason why I am going through this little period of, what's the word? Disarray is because of the old frequency. And I've gotten a lot of knowledge from neuro knowledge on this subject. And he likes to describe your old frequency as its own entity, and that it will do anything in its power in order to survive. And in order for it to survive, it needs some sort of emotional reaction that seems familiar to it. So my old frequency would ruminate on these things that happened in the past few days. Honestly, just little things, but they're enough to be noted, if that makes sense. I'll tell you what they are, just in simple terms. So, I mean, yesterday, just difficult customers. It just arised some just feelings of disarray, even though I know I have nothing to do with it, but it was that. And then on the way home, I was getting a lot of intense drivers, and it was triggering these feelings of residual habits of road rage. And then today, something really significant happened. It's just this ongoing situation with a coworker that I am actually considering just bringing it up to HR. But yeah, I feel like the old frequency would want to react by maybe just justifying something or trying to explain what I did wrong or what I can do to fix it. But I'm different now, at least where I currently find myself, where I can take a step back, a few steps back actually, and really look at this from the highest perspective I possibly can. Anyways, I'll get back to that later. So your old frequency plays a big factor because that's the version of you that you've been for the past however long you've been living. The old frequency will attract these situations that I'm currently going through, or like even to the universe or life will just hand you these random cards and you really have no say in it, and it's really just up to you what you want to do with those cards. And I guess recently I've just been dealt some cards that triggered my old frequency. And so, yeah, I mean, once I view it from that perspective, it's really easy for me to distance myself from these situations and see like, okay, I'm kind of more clear on who I am becoming and this sort of new reaction that I give. And I'm noticing the old reactions kind of wanting to come to the surface. And I'm not fighting it. I obviously let myself feel the emotions. It's a very important step. I'm just recognizing that the more I hold on to it, the more I give it to my attention, the more it will be magnified. And if I ruminate on what happens that I don't like, obviously I'm going to attract more of it in the future. So I'm doing my future self a favor and focusing on things that will contribute to a more happy, healthy, peaceful life. That's kind of the whole reason why we're doing this. But yes, let's get into the higher understanding. What do I want to talk about that I haven't talked about already today? Today, what happened? As I said, it's been a reoccurring theme, and it's really regarding being misunderstood and therefore mistreated in a sense. I have to interrupt myself. Another thing that I forgot to add. I like to think that if someone does me wrong or makes me feel wrong in a certain way and they're not just a stranger, they're someone that I interact with daily, I like to think that from a higher level spiritual sense that our souls kind of agree to the situation, and basically this is all out of love. There's a lesson to be learned for the other person, and there's a lesson to be learned for me. And any quote-unquote harm done to me, any mishaps that happen between me and someone else that I know, is ultimately like, we agreed to go through it, and for the purpose of expanding. So yeah, I think I've made my decision where it's just like, again, it's one of these things that are just completely out of my control. And at the end of the day, if anything happens to me, like in my job, I don't know where I was going with that, but basically, like, I'll be taken care of. I don't know. I trust that whatever happens, I'll be fine. I mean, I know that. Not even trust at that point. I know that whatever happens, I'll be okay. Yes, that reminded me of what I actually wanted to talk about today, where this new version of me, yeah, I got this little feeling yesterday and today, just recognizing that any of these, I'm trying to find the right word to use to describe them, but any of these like misoccurrences, that's not the right word. Mishap, misstep. Still didn't find the word after looking up on Google and asking ChatGPT. Yeah, I think it's a mishap. I completely forgot what I was talking about too. Yeah, whenever any of these mishaps would happen, I would understand that at a deeper level, it's really just an opportunity for me to choose what I actually want out of life. And for some reason, it made me feel good, and it felt kind of wrong. It felt wrong to feel that good in these specific situations. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's not wrong. I wonder what it means. I think I want to ask ChatGPT what that means. Let me actually get back to you again. Okay, interesting. There was one point where it said that the old conditioning would initially feel fear, but my transition from fear into this clarity releases like this burst of energy, and that's what I would be feeling. That makes sense to me. I just find it kind of like psychopathic in a sense, because what am I doing feeling good about something wrong happening in my life? You know what I'm saying? But I understand, like, something quote unquote wrong happening is just an opportunity for me to get clearer on what I actually want. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to be working through from now on, like reframing these mishaps and really defining and clarifying how I prefer life. But I'm actually starting to get hungry now too, so I do want to at least show you my sandwiches because I'm kind of proud. I was up late last night. A new addition from the last time, I put some salami in there. And more lettuce too, so we have more crunch. But yeah, that's what I'm going through currently. And yeah, I hope you got something out of it. If you didn't, I hope it was at least some in some way, shape, or form entertaining. I don't think so. But yes, I'm gonna continue and finish my lunch, and I will get back to you guys next time.